This is an Andy Lau birthday tribute / movie review. Today is Andy Lau's 63rd birthday, and I figured I'd talk about my favorite, or one of my top 3 favorites for Andy Lau, and just talk a little bit about my history with liking Andy Lau and when I first discovered Andy Lau. So I got into Hong Kong cinema and things in the early 2000s, and there was a big wave of imports and things for films and US releases that would come flooding in the 90s and into the 2000s. So in maybe 2004, I want to say, is when we got the import of a movie called Full-Time Killer, and that's my favorite Andy Lau film, and it's kind of up there with this one. That it's hard to pick a favorite between the two, but overall I just like Andy Lau in general, and there are many that I really like. So I'm even wearing the Andy Lau Unforgettable concert t-shirt. I wanted a piece of concert since I may never get to see him, who knows. So that's an official concert item. So I really like the movie Full-Time Killer, and the runner-up, or the two that fight for the first spot, would be Full-Time Killer or Full Throttle, which years ago I watched this. It was on YouTube. I was already into Andy Lau by this point, and so I went to, I think it's a Hong Kong Blu-ray DVD site called badpandashop.com, and it's for a lot of these Cameron Ronson releases and other things from Hong Kong discs. But Full Throttle is probably my first or second favorite, tied with Full-Time Killer. It's a movie about Andy Lau. He wants to race in the Grand Prix, I think it's the X is silent, Grand Prix, and in Macau, which is known for, it's very popular, but a lot of people get injured or even die. And so he's training for it. He's got his own bike, he's racing, and he eventually, out of pride, wants to be the best, even when he's not allowed to race technically. He gets into like a legal problem where he's not allowed to race, and so his time's coming up where he can race again, and because he's not allowed to race, a lot of people are kind of taking the first place spot. His pride takes over, and he wants to prove that he's the best unofficially while he's training. And so one night he is in a rage and he wrecks his bike. He gets injured, nearly dies. He's got a neck brace on. They have to put rods in his leg and things like that. And then while he's recuperating, his girlfriend, played by Gigi Leung, she's always been not in favor of it because she loves him. She doesn't want him hurt. And during the rehab of him healing, she is there taking care of him, nursing him, and she's there by his side, and they talk it through, and he's trying to do the thing for her and not have the will to want to do something that he loves and that he has the adrenaline for, and he wants to trying to give it up as best he can, and kind of agrees with her he won't race anymore. And then his buddy thinks he's given up and gets mad and has that same issue of, I'm the best, I'm full of pride, thinks that he's belittled So he wants to prove it for Andy Lau's character and himself. Chinkar Locke is his buddy, and he gets in a road rage as well, and things spiral downward. And by the end of the movie, without giving too much away, it's an older movie, but it might be a first for some people, and I don't want to spoil it because I love it a lot, and I would like other people to find it on their own, and hear about it on their on here maybe, and experience it without too many spoilers. But this is kind of like it's not really an action movie, but it's very entertaining, and it's more dramatic. And by the end of the movie, he kind of commits himself to his girlfriend and gives up racing, and just doesn't. He might have a little bit of that in him still, but having a bike, he can just ride around and be kind of safe, but not try to be the best and be a racer necessarily. But there's a little more to it than that. But I definitely recommend checking it out, and if that sounds interesting to you, it's probably the best sports movie from Hong Kong that I've seen. Racing is kind of like sports, but it's very entertaining. I think Andy Lau has a lot to do with that for me, being one of my favorite Hong Kong actors. And he does the theme song for this, and he does the theme song for a lot of his movies. But I started to know who he was in 2004 with Full Time Killer when that came over. It was already a couple years old at that point, but we got it here in the States. I think that's when I first saw it, so that's probably when it came out. And then about 10 years later, when I was in college, in 2014, 13 into 14, I was really just enamored with like trying to find all the music, and now I have almost every Andy Lau album. Very hard to track down some of these, but I love his music. I love his acting. He's like, he can do pretty much anything he does, even a sports movie like this, sportsish racing movie. But I like it, and I'm never dissatisfied with his acting or singing. So I definitely recommend the movie. This is the Cameron Ronson release, and that's the disc. And there's a scene behind there. I like these Hong Kong Blu-rays. I have quite a few of them, but not only do I have the Cameron Ronson Hong Kong release, I do have the Nova Media Korean release. That's, I think, the original artwork. It comes with art cards, and I had the light on, but I decided natural light was actually more fitting, even though it seems a little dark. It was just way too bright over there for how dark it is outside. It's raining today. The back is all the same. It's just a picture of Andy Lau from the movie. I do like that Nova Media includes little trinkets like this, kind of like the new Blu-ray releases are going, and with the UK companies, and even more, like Arrow Video does it. That's that big popular picture of Andy Lau from the movie. The movie came out in 1995, lining up with an album he was coming out with at the same time called, I think it was just called Love Andy, or just Andy. There's a lot of different, wow, there's a lot of different album titles for his albums. That's either Andy something or something about love, which is cool. That's Andy Lau's kind of that's how he titles his albums a lot of the time. But anyway, this is the Nova Media release. That's it's got just the trailer, just like the Hong Kong Blu-ray, but there, should cover up my face because it zooms in better. So I like the Nova Media cases. They're not super hard, but they are nice enough. And you won't be able to see that probably, but it says Full Throttle, and then if you flip it this way, it's the Chinese writing of Full Throttle. So I know the trailer, when you watch the trailer, it says Full Speed. So I don't know if that was the actual title at one point or not, but that's the numbered Korean version. But I also, because I love the movie, ordered a collector's figure of, it says Joe, but I always get confused because Chinkar Locke's name I thought was Joe for the longest time in the movie, but it comes with a stand, which I didn't use. I got the figure. I don't have a place to display it, and because it's kind of a more rarity, I don't want to display it. I'll keep it in a case until I can get him in a display cabinet, and probably keep the case behind him and put the platform up. And so that's the figurine. So it's just modeled after the movie. You can take the head off and put the helmet on, which would be as if he's wearing a helmet. So it also comes with, if you take his jacket off, I guess you can put the Arai Racing shirt. So that's cool. And it comes with a multitude of different hands, like gloves, for, I guess, if you have a bike to put it on. This doesn't come with a bike, but I'm sure there's an accessory you can buy that doesn't come with this. And so he grips with the alternate gloves and things like that. So pretty cool. I mean, I have an Andy Lau action figure. It's a collector's figure, but this would have been cool about 20 years ago when I was big on figures still. And so, but it's cool now because it's accessible. You have some access to it. But that's Andy Lau from Full Throttle. Now, I love the movie. I recommend the movie. It's definitely one of my favorite Andy Lau movies, as I've said. It's Andy Lau's 63rd birthday, so I figured I'd do that for the birthday. And it's kind of like how I register that it's the end of summer officially, because it's summer's already technically done on the calendar. It's autumn, but once I get to Andy Lau's birthday, it's the end of September, and it's the beginning of fall, and then going into the next month. But that's my little collection of my first or second. It's always a runner-up with Full-Time Throttle. The first or second Andy Lau film that I love. So thank you for watching, and hopefully if you like Andy Lau or are interested in something that's not just martial arts. You'll look into finding Full Throttle. Hopefully it gets another either UK or an American Blu-ray with some features and things going forward, and gets a little more attention because it definitely deserves it. So thank you for watching. Happy 63rd birthday, Andy Lau. 谢谢。